This Ofsted report, I'm very glad to see it, but it's hundreds of pages of what could have been foreseen at least 1 year and 11 months ago, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly could. And we began publishing quite quickly from late April, May of 2020 on looking at the downsides and the huge anxiety this was causing parents and the actual lack of evidence for shutting schools. It was quite horrifying and nobody listened. And I felt all the people who should have been fighting for children, the mothers, the teachers, the social workers, somehow they'd already become terrorized or compliant to the state that made them unable to be the tigresses for their children that they needed to be. Yet at the same time, their own anxiety and loneliness and feelings of inability to cope with work and their children at home were mounting. And this basically went on for what? A year and a half. The government played cat and mouse with parents on school openings and closures, kept on saying, we'll open, and then we didn't. The unions, the teachers' unions are absolutely culpable. I'm sorry, Mark, I'm so angry about this. I've been angry about it all along. The government was weak. This was an anti-health policy. Imagine shutting up small children in 12th floor flats with a mother going out cleaning, inadequately cared for. This was fine for Matt Hancock and Boris Johnson, who've got checkers to go to take their kids to. Matt Hancock's got a second country home. This was the bit between the upper middle classes and the rest. Some of them, I've met people, they positively enjoyed lockdown. They loved having their kids at home. Their kids could do all these arts and crafts. But the majority, what they... Sorry, it's so difficult to stay calm about this. There are 3 million children in this country led by single-parent families. Those are the families who are struggling. There is no condemnation here. This is a fact. They are struggling. They were the ones who were the most vulnerable. They were the ones with the autistic children, with the disabled children. Disabled children were virtually imprisoned. You have to look at the interview that your colleague Mark Dolan did with Bob Moran, the cartoonist who was shamefully sacked from the Telegraph. His situation with his disabled daughter, he was able to articulate that very clearly in a way of the suffering that child went through, that child's regression, their suffering and difficulty. He articulated it in a way that hundreds of parents have not been able to do.